Hey everyone, I am Stephanie from Stephanie Kahn Fitness, and today's workout is going to be a squat and lunge-free standing lower body workout. So if you have a lower body injury and can't do squats and lunges right now, this is going to be a great workout for you. Having said that, if you are taking care of an injury, please make sure that you are following the advice of your healthcare provider. And if something doesn't feel right for you, please feel free to adjust as needed. I won't be including a warm-up in this one. It's going to be a really quick workout. So if you are not already warmed up and you would like to get a warm-up on your own, please feel free to do so. I'm going to be using a chair for some of this workout. Go ahead and grab that, and we will get started. Are you ready? Let's do this. All right, standing lower body squat-free workout. Let's get started by finding our tall standing position. So we're gonna anchor the feet into the floor and then pull the belly up and in. Now, if you feel a little unsteady with your balance, please feel free to use your chair for this particular exercise. Or if you want to challenge your core just a little bit more, we can do this without the chair. So standing tall, belly draws in. We'll take that right foot in front of us, but we want to make sure we're not shifting into that left hip. So we're going to pull that left hip underneath the body, belly draws in. And from here, we're just gonna lift and lower. So I'm gonna turn sideways so you guys can see what we're doing here. We're just gonna lift and release, but my spine is staying nice and tall here. So I'm engaging through the front of the thigh as I lift. Now, you can lift as high as you comfortably can today. This doesn't need to be a really huge movement. We're just activating through that quadricep. Got 8 more here in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're gonna do one and we're gonna hold it up here. Hold, hold, hold. Now we're gonna come across the body first. We're gonna do 8 little circles. So hips stay nice and squared. We're gonna do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you guessed it, 8 going the other way for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake yourself out. So you probably felt not only your standing leg, but also that working leg. So taking a moment just to reset your stability and balance. Belly draws in. Let's do that same thing with our left leg. So we're gonna extend it out in front of us. We lift, we lower. Navel draws in as we engage through the deep core. Squeeze through the front of that leg. We've got 6 more here in 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, lift and hold. 8 circles, we go across first. 6, really use that inner thigh. 4, 3, hips are square. 2, and 1. Now let's go the opposite way for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake yourself out. Now, again, you can use your chair for balance here. We're gonna work into our calves, but I want you to really think about this calf raise starting from some engagement in the glutes. So belly draws in, hands can come onto the hips, or you can use a chair. We're gonna lift our heels up, and then with control, lower them down. Belly pulls in, so we're keeping that nice long spine. Engage through the back of the legs. Slow on the way up, slow on the way down. We tend to think more buns and thighs when we're doing lower body. And we tend to ignore the calves just a little bit, but it's really important for functional activities of our daily lives to strengthen into those calves. They are really important. But I do want you to think about pulling up, using your glutes, and then squeezing your calves. So we're really working the entire back of the body. Also, not to mention a little bit of stability and balance. So can we do 4 more? 3, 2, last one. Nice work. Shake yourself out. You can roll those ankles just a little bit. We're gonna come back to our thighs. So working a little bit more into the side of the hip, as well as our standing base leg. So from here, we're gonna stand on that left leg and level off your hips. So I like to put my hands on my hips just to remind me to keep my hips square. And then I'm gonna take my right toe out to the side. So again, if you wanna use that chair for stability and balance, you can. But think here about keeping those right toes pointing in front of you instead of pointing out to the side. So we're gonna keep that hip in its neutral position. And we're gonna lift and lower. So notice, I'm not lifting really, really high. Squeeze into it. So we're working through the side of that hip. Abs are in. Nice and tall here. Let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're gonna hold this one out and think about a nice diagonal line. So we're gonna kick across the body and come out. Across and out. So now we're working a little bit more into that inner thigh, not to mention our standing leg. Squeeze into it. Nice diagonal movement. Come across and in. Whew. Can we do 4 more? In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake yourself out. Again, I don't know which leg I felt more, that standing leg or that moving leg. They were both working really hard. So let's go ahead and do that on the opposite side. So now we're gonna stand on that right side. Zip up through the right side. Take your left toes out, level your hips, belly pulls in. We come up and down. So tendency on this one, I want you guys to keep going, is to kind of lean a little bit. Can we keep that torso nice and tall as we squeeze through the glutes, through the side of those hips, really working into those outer thighs. A little lift. And again, we want to be sure that we're not kind of coming here and lifting out from an externally rotated position in the hip. We want to keep that leg coming facing forward so that we can really squeeze into those glutes. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're gonna lift and hold, kick across and out. So imagine here like you're moving that leg through mud. There's some resistance happening. Squeeze your inner thighs as you come across, squeeze your glute as you come back. Nice and strong. You've got a slight bend in that standing leg. I know, it's burning. Last 4, 3, we got 2 more, right? We can do this. And 1, shake yourself out. From here, hands come behind the head. Now I want you to really think about opening that space across your collarbones as you pull your deep core in. So really important that we engage our core for this next exercise so that we can keep our nice long spinal alignment. Elbows point out to the side. We've got a slight bend in the knees. Just some good morning. So you're gonna hinge forward and then we're gonna squeeze hamstrings and glutes to come back up. So we're tipping that pelvis forward, lengthening the spine, keeping that back straight. Now we wanna be sure that we're not only not rounding the back, but we also want to be sure that we're not overarching and collapsing into our lumbar spine. So we want to find that sweet spot right in the middle. Nice long spine. And your range of motion here is entirely up to you. So some of us can go a little further forward because we've got a little bit more hamstring flexibility. That is not really the case for me, so I'm not gonna go very far in this exercise. Squeeze to come back up, really putting our focus into those hamstrings. We hinge and we lift. Last 4, 3, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Last 2. And last 1. Catch your breath. So this is where we're gonna use our chair. So go ahead and grab your chair, or you can also use a wall for support as well. But we're gonna turn and face our chair or countertop or wall, whatever it is that you happen to be using. Slight bend in those knees. We're gonna come into that hip hinge again. Hinge forward, and you can either, depending on the height of your chair, use your hands, or if you want to, you can cross your arms and place your forearms on the chair. So I've got a rounded chair back. I'm just gonna use my hands. Belly pulls in, and I'm gonna take my front leg and extend it back behind me with my toes facing down. Now this hip is gonna stay square to my chair as I lift and I lower. But notice, as I'm lifting, I'm not moving my low back. So this lift is not going to be very high, but I'm really driving it using my glutes instead of arching my back and using my back muscles. We really want to put this movement into the glute, keeping that hip square, the core engaged. Let's do 8 more. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're gonna take this next one up, up, up. We're gonna hold it, flex that foot. We're gonna bring the heel in and out, in and out, in and out. Working through that hamstring, so I want you to really contract and extend. Belly draws in. Last 4, 3, 2, and and one. Release. Whew. Felt that standing leg too, so you can give yourself a quick little stretch here. Catch your breath. And of course, when we do one leg, we have to do the other one. So let's get set up so that we can do side number 2. Square your hips, slight bend in your knees, hinge forward, gently resting the hands or the forearms on your chair. So we just want to make sure that that chair is there for balance and support. We're not really pushing a ton of weight into it. Square yourself off, belly draws in, we lift, we lower. And you may notice one side feels a little bit less challenging than the other. That's totally okay. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. I want you to focus in on those muscles that are working. Really find that contraction through your glutes. Doesn't have to be a really high lift to be effective. Now from here, we're gonna hold, flex your foot. We come in, we extend out. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Standing leg is working really hard here too. We're gonna do 4 more. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Shake yourself out. The good news is all of the hard things are done for today. Let's go ahead and stretch it out. So again, you can use your chair for balance and support. We'll take one heel, does not matter which one you start with, forward, and then we're just gonna hinge at the hips, feeling that nice stretch into the hamstring. So when we're doing our hamstring stretches, we wanna make sure that we are hinging at the hips, sending the tailbone back so that we can really give ourselves a nice little stretch here through that hamstring. And then gently coming back up. Other heel goes forward, stretching into that hamstring. Nice and easy. And come on up. Let's step one foot forward, other foot drops back. Drop that heel down, stretching into your calf. And again, chair is nice to have handy for that balance and support. You of course don't need it here for our stretch if that's more comfortable for you. We'll lift that back heel, tuck your tailbone, and then we're gonna drop down just a smidge so that we're feeling a nice little stretch into that hip flexor and into that quadricep. If that doesn't feel good for you today though, you don't have to bend into this supporting leg. Let's step that back foot forward. We'll do that same stretch on the opposite side. So starting just by dropping that heel down. Stretching into our calf. Lift that back heel, tuck, and drop just a smidgen. Lengthening up through that spine. Stepping that back foot forward. Let's give ourselves one last big inhale up and big exhale. Shake yourself out. Thank you so much for joining me today for this squat and lunge free lower body workout. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up like button. I will see you next time for another great workout. Thanks so much for working out with me today. Take care. Bye.